Hello, everyone. Welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. So the first part of this practice is vinyasa flow, and then the second half is yin and restorative yoga. So grab a whole bunch of props, especially for the second half. For the vinyasa flow, you might find useful a strap of some sort, like one that you can make a loop in, perhaps even start by making a loop on it now, about this small, something you could step the ball of one foot into, and 2 yoga blocks. And then for the second portion, a pillow, blanket, and anything else. Let's begin in a comfortable version of hero's pose, if you can find a comfortable version of that for you. And that's where you place your shins on the floor so that your knees are no wider apart than your hips distance, like this. And you're either sitting on an object. If your knees are sensitive, you might be placing a folded blanket right up against your knees like this. Or you could sit on a pillow or a block or a stack of blocks right between your ankles like this, making sure that your toes are pointed back. The feet are not turned out. Otherwise, you might be sitting directly on your calves or on the ground right between the ankles. Just take a moment to situate your body so that you can evenly root down to your left and your right sitting bones. Relax the shoulders back and down as you lift up through the crown of your head, allowing your chin to softly glide towards the back of your throat. Rest your hands in a position that helps you to begin to pay more attention, not only to your external environment, your physical body, but what's happening internally, like in your mind and how you feel. Pausing a moment to check in with yourself and the different layers of your being. Notice any sensations you feel in your body. Areas of tension, areas of openness, just anything to notice. With a kind curiosity, sense the way your body is receiving breath. Is it fast or slow, deep, shallow, regular, irregular, paced? And through that, notice your mental and emotional state. Is there a particular thought looping in your mind? Is your attention drawn to something specific? Here is a short, concise quote from Jon Kabat-Zinn, whom I mentioned in last practice, is one of the leaders of popularizing mindfulness practice here in the West. And he says about our thoughts, look at other people and ask yourself if you are really seeing them or just your thoughts about them. Without knowing it, we are coloring everything, putting our spin on it all. So in today's practice, which will lead us into our meditation practice later, a specific one written by Jon Kabat-Zinn on mindfulness of thoughts, I invite you into a kind observance of the kinds of thoughts that arise as you're practicing. Just not getting too involved, but just notice if you sense a pattern, if you sense commentary of what's happening in your body as you're moving your body. And know that any given moment you can drop the commentary and come back to the breath, feeling it through your felt sense, simplifying the practice. Let's start to deepen the breath. Give the next inhale as much space in your body as you can to fill up to capacity without strain or force. And as you open the lips, allow the breath to ease out, emptying all the way out. And then again, filling up with the next inhalation. A little bit longer, a little bit deeper. Allow yourself to enjoy each new breath coming in and releasing. And as you do this, what's your intention? What's your why for showing up in your yoga practice today? Take a moment to clarify your sankalpa or your personal prayer. Call to mind as well someone or something beyond yourself that you care about or hold sacred. Consider dedicating this practice to them. And together, as we share our practices in community, I invite you to create resonance with me by vocalizing, using your voice, chanting 3 ohms together. Allow another deep breath. As you bow in towards your heart center, remember that you have your own inner guidance and body intelligence to listen to as we're moving along, choosing when to rest if needed, when to go a little deeper or back off if needed. Make this your practice. Start to deepen the breath with the lips closed. Softly narrow the back of the throat and invite a gentle whisper that you can hear ever so subtly. Inhaling, exhaling, balancing the in and out breaths. Practicing Ujjayi pranayama, which means victorious breathing. As you keep that sound going, let it serve as a tool for bridging your mind to the present moment and to your body and breath. So with that, come on down to hands and knees, all fours. Set your knees a couple inches behind your hips. And begin to move your spine in cat-cow. As you inhale, draw your heart forward through the arms. Roll the shoulders back and look up, coiling the chest in cow pose. As you exhale, press down through your palms, lifting the belly as you bow your head, rounding into cat pose. Several more. Inhaling, glide the shoulder blades down your back, lifting the heart. Exhaling, lift your navel, tuck the tailbone under. Maybe about 3 more cycles of Vidalasana. Now at the end of your next cat pose, rounding the back, relax to a neutral spine and step your knees directly under your hips. Activate the belly, lift the sides of your waist, spread the fingers flat, gaze on the ground a foot ahead of your hands, and by firming your outer hips towards your midline, imagine that you're balancing a long block right across your lower back like I'm doing here. You're trying to keep your 2 hips leveled. In fact, as still as possible as you breathe in to slowly extend your right leg straight behind you, flexing the foot as if you're pressing the inner heel against the back wall. How's the breath? Keep lifting the sides of the waist. Now, if your balance feels pretty stable, also extend the left arm forward like you're about to shake someone's hand, where your upper arm lines up with your left ear, drawing the left shoulder back. How's the breath? Deeply inhale as you lengthen through the center line of your body, tracing the spine. Now keep the pelvis as still as possible and exhale, lower your right knee, left hand too if it's lifted. And inhale, extend the left leg similarly, flexing the foot. Maybe extend the right arm forward, that's optional. So this is what I call tabletop marching. Exhale, lower hands and knees. Keep the pelvis still, inhale, raise the right leg back again. Left arm forward, optional. Keep the belly lifted. Exhale, lower hand and knee. Inhale, reach the left leg, maybe right arm forward. Get long as you lift through your center. Exhale, lower hand and knee. This time, inhale, raise the right leg back and bend the knee. Backstroke your left arm if the arm is lifted, and see if you might be able to catch hold of your right foot, beginning to kick that foot back as you pull it towards you, broadening your chest. Now feel your right hand. Can you rebound your weight off the ground through that right palm and create more space in your right shoulder joint? Last couple of breaths. Without slingshotting your right leg, slowly re-extend. Right arm, maybe the left, right leg, maybe the left arm too. And exhale, hands and knees to the floor. Keep your two hips leveled again. Inhale, raise the left leg back. Maybe reach the right arm forward. Exhale, lower hand and knee. Inhale, raise right leg back. Left arm forward, optional. Exhale, lower hand and knee. Keep the belly engaged. Inhale, left leg back. Maybe right arm forward. Exhale, lower both. Inhale, right leg back. Maybe left arm forward. Exhale, lower both. This time, inhale, reach the left leg back. Maybe the right arm forward. Backstrokes to catch hold of the top of the left foot. If so, kick the foot back as you pull it towards you. Play a little peaceful tug of war between your left foot and right hand to create lift and balance for 3 more breaths. Feel that rebounding action of the left palm pressing into the earth. And then again, slowly and steadily re-extend the left leg back, maybe the right arm forward, get long through your center line. And exhale, hands and knees to the floor, tuck your toes, lift your hips high and back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Allow a few breaths to dance your downward dog, meaning move your body in a way that feels good to loosen it up here. A few breaths. Feel the rootedness of your fingers as you press down through the base of your thumb and index, stretching the index fingers forward, not at all pointing them towards each other. Then open up across your shoulders by rotating your triceps or outer upper arms towards the floor. Lifting the shoulders back, soften the back of your neck. Keep your hips as high as possible, which might mean bending the knees. And firm the front tops of your thighs back, sinking your heels deeper and deeper towards the ground. Land your eyes on one focal point, and let's listen to 2 more slow breaths. Downward facing dog. A slow vinyasa. As you breathe in, glide forward into the top of a push-up plank pose, whether keeping your legs straight or lowering your knees directly under your hips. Pause for 3 breaths. Find that rebounding action through both palms as you stretch the back of your neck, gazing on the ground ahead. Lift your navel. Very slowly, inhale, glide forward as far as you can, keeping the elbows straight. Exhale, point the elbows back, framing your side ribs in Chaturanga Dandasana. Pause. Breathe in, spread the shoulder blades apart, Lift the navel, stretch the neck long, and exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Press the tops of your feet firmly into the ground as you hug your elbows close to your ribs. Inhale, cobra, roll the fronts of your shoulders back and reach your heart forward. Tucking your toes, exhale, firm the belly in and press up to your plank. Then lift the pelvis to downward dog. Inhale, raise your right leg back, keeping your hips leveled. Spiral the inner thigh towards the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee, dropping the heel towards the right glute. Stay in the squared hips and inhale, raise the right knee towards your back wall and ceiling. Keep the right hip turning down. Now exhale, contract your lower belly and slowly round forward towards plank, bending your right knee towards your nose. Then softly as you can, step your right foot to the right side of your right hand, lowering your back knee. Optional to place your hands on blocks. Let's start a flow here. Inhale, raise your heart and gaze, dropping your shoulders back. Exhale, lift the back knee, straightening both legs to your degree. Bow forward inside your right leg, a wide pyramid pose. Then again, inhale, lower your back knee, look up, open your throat. Exhale, straighten both legs to your capacity and fold. 3 more rounds to the breath. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Now come back to your lunge. You might opt to place a blanket under your left knee as we're gonna be here for a little bit longer. Scoot your left knee another inch or 2 back, then bend it, leaning your weight just above the kneecap. Backstroke your right arm, and this is where you might use a strap and lasso the top of your left foot with a loop of the strap like this, if the foot's far away to reach. Otherwise, if you can reach it, hold it with your hands and gently bring it closer to your glutes. As we stay about 5 more breaths, notice if it's available for you to come down onto your left elbow. Maybe not. And keep the sole of your right foot entirely on the floor here in this version, pointing your right knee and middle toe straight forward as you gently scissor your right outer hip back. Let's listen to the breath. Attend to this next exhalation to the very bottom before you release the back foot. Place your hands in front of you and step the right foot beside your right thumb. And spin the back heel down to rise up into Warrior One. Now as you arrive in Warrior One, bring your hands to your hips for a moment and straighten both legs. Plug the outer left heel into the earth and spin your inner left thigh towards the back wall, bringing the left outer hip forward. Keep that. Now bend the front knee right on top of the heel and scissor your right outer hip back. Now lifting your frontal hip bones, feel a sense of activating and containing your center. Raising your arms high, relax the shoulders down. Either palms connected or apart, land your eyes on one intentional spot. 3 more breaths in Virabhadrasana 1. Bring your hands to your hips again and step the left foot about 5 to 6 inches forward, straightening both legs. Let's broaden the collarbones by reaching your arms behind you, either pressing fist to fist, holding opposite elbows, or palm to palm in reverse prayer. As you firm down through both feet entirely, lift your heart. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Hugging in your front ribs, exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips, breath by breath. Slightly tacking the right hip back, keeping your 2 hips leveled in Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. One more slow breath here. Now gaze at your right foot. Place your fingertips on blocks if you have them, otherwise on the floor, a foot ahead of your right foot. Shift your weight entirely onto the right foot, entering Warrior 3, supported by your hands. Lift the left leg from the inner thigh, turning the left outer hip to face the ground. Right away, flex your left foot like we did in that marching tabletop pose. Get long through the center line of your body and lift the sides of your waist. Maybe you raise the hands off the blocks, bringing them in prayer, wide apart, or reaching forward. Another 3 slow, calm breaths here in Warrior 3. Very gently step your left foot to the rear of your mat, cartwheeling the arms into Warrior 2. Aligning your right heel to the arch of your left foot. Bend the front knee right on top of the heel and roll your right outer hip under. Peaceful Warrior. Keep your hips low. Inhale, lift your spine and side bend towards the back wall. Left hand lightly landing on the left leg or wrap it behind you. Maybe catch the top of your right thigh. Let's focus on breathing into your right side body here, down into the hip flexor. 3 more breaths. Deep inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground into plank and take it down into your vinyasa. Breathing into cobra or upward facing dog. We'll meet in downward dog for a few breaths. Now keeping your 2 hips leveled again. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you from the inner thigh. Turning the left outer hip to face the ground. As you exhale, bend the left knee, dropping your left heel towards your glute. Inhale, raise the left knee towards the back wall and ceiling. And exhale, contract the belly and round forward slowly to plank. Bending left knee towards your nose. Softly step the left foot beside your left pinky finger. Lower your back knee. Optional to place your hands on blocks. Inhale, look up, starting our flow, lizard lunge. Exhale, lift the back knee. Straighten both legs and bow. Wide pyramid pose. Inhale, lower back knee. Look up, lizard lunge. Exhale, straighten and bow. Pyramid pose. 3 more. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Now return to your lunge and let's step the left foot beside your left thumb. Lower the right heel and rise up to stand in Warrior 1. Bringing your hands to your hips, straighten the left leg. Root your outer right heel into the floor and spin your inner right thigh towards your rear wall. Now keep the right leg straight and bend the front knee right on top of the heel. Scissor your left outer hip back and lift your frontal hip bones, containing and activating your center. Raise the arms up, palms together or apart. Relax the shoulders and face and land your gaze on one spot. 3 more breaths in Virabhadrasana 1. Bring your hands to your hips again and step your right foot 5 to 6 inches forward, shorter stance with both legs straight. Bring your arms behind your back, fist to fist, holding opposite elbows, or reverse prayer. Inhale, lift your chest and look up. Exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips. A few breaths. Pyramid pose, Ardha. One more full breath here. Now look at the ground just ahead of your left foot. Place your fingertips a foot ahead on blocks or the ground, shoulders width apart, and shift your weight entirely onto your left leg, lifting the right leg from the inseam, warrior three. Flex your right foot, activate the muscles in the leg, and get long to your center line. Lift the navel, maybe lift the hands, find your variation here. And let's come back into that context of observing the commentary in our minds. Witnessing whatever thoughts may arise. One more breath, Virabhadrasana 3. Then slowly step the right foot back and windmill your arms into warrior 2. Aligning heel to arch. Keeping your front knee bent right over the heel, wrap the outer hip under. Lift the sides of your torso and side bend towards the back wall in peaceful warrior. Landing your right hand lightly on your right leg or wrapping it behind you. Breathe into your left side body. 3 more breaths. Deep inhale. Last vinyasa, cartwheel your hands and take it at your pace. Few deep breaths here in downward facing dog. We're going to begin the yin portion of our practice. From downward dog into single pigeon pose. Turn out your right thigh at the hip and slide the right shin onto the ground in front of your pelvis, crossing your mat. Straighten your left leg behind you and square both of your hips to face forward, just like warrior 1. Notice if it might be helpful to prop your right glute on a folded blanket or a pillow. Now from here, there are many variations. You could bow forward, maybe resting on a stack of pillows. You could thread the needle with the left arm under the right elbow, resting left side of your head on a block or the floor. You could come into king pigeon pose, in which you backstroke your left arm, bend your left knee, and catch hold of your left inner foot or ankle. Perhaps raising your right arm, maybe hooking the top of your left foot into the crook of your left elbow and clasping your hands. Or flipping your grip, coming into Ekapada Rajakapotasana, king pigeon pose. So in whichever posture you've landed, let's give it another 10 breaths. Take your time after your 10 breaths to ease your way back to downward facing dog. You may want to spend a few breaths there, raising your right leg, moving it at the hip, and encouraging blood flow into the hip you were just focusing on. Take your time entering regular downward dog with both feet down and transitioning to side 2 in single pigeon, turning out the left thigh, cross the shin in front of your pelvis, sitting as the right leg straightens behind you. Notice if here it might be useful to place a prop under your left glute to keep your hips evenly facing forward. Now I invite you to find the same variation as you practiced on side 1, but at the same time honor the amount of intensity it may need to be, might be different. So bowing forward, threading the needle with right arm under left bent elbow, or backstroking the right arm, catching your foot, whether into the crook of the elbow or flipping your grip towards king pigeon pose. And once you've arrived in the variation, see if you can commit to 10 slow breaths of just being there. No need to fidget or look around. Be right there attentively. Yesterday or our last class, we focused on the 4 qualities that define mindfulness practice. Paying attention on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally. When you finish about 10 breaths where you are, ease your way back again into downward facing dog. Allow a few breaths to take a counter gesture movement, like raising your left leg up, maybe shaking it out or circling the leg. And then coming down to sit, bring your legs in front of you and bring a block with you, maybe 2 blocks, maybe a pillow, and set it off to the side, set them off to the side where you can reach for them while you're lying on your back. And grab your strap and let's come down onto our backs. Bending your right knee into your chest. Sliding your left leg forward. Step the ball of your right foot into the loop on your strap. Extend your right leg up and hold the strap in your left hand. Scoot your pelvis another 4 inches or so towards the right edge of your mat, preparing for a supine spinal twist. Open your right arm out to the right, making sure to keep the shoulder grounded. You might even turn your gaze past it. Now to give a little stretch into your right IT band that's around the outer thigh, sickle your right foot here. That means from the ankle, turn just the sole of the foot to face the left wall. And now just 1/3 of your range, begin to twist to your left side. Pausing there, just sense whatever sensations are coming up. Breathe. Continue the 2/3 of your range. Then pause again. Notice what's there. Finding your full range, you might even opt to rest your inner right leg on a pillow, making sure to keep the right shoulder grounded. And as you're here, see if you might be able to bend your left knee. Reach for the left foot with your right hand. Now, if it's not reachable or this throws you off balance and it's too cumbersome, let it go. This is just an option to explore. Either way, if you have your foot or not, reground your right shoulder. And now bring your awareness to your right hip. Gently tilt your right outer hip forward. That's away from your torso and towards the front edge of your mat. Now let's be here attentively. Another 10 slow breaths. And at your own pace, when you finish your 10 breaths, begin to unravel back to center, removing the strap, extending your right leg forward, and bending your left knee into your chest. As you're ready, step the ball of your left foot into the loop on the strap and extend your left leg upright. Holding the strap in your right hand, slide your pelvis 4 to 5 inches closer to the left edge of your mat. Slide your left arm wide, grounding the shoulder, sickle your left foot. Turn the sole to face the right wall. 1/3 of your range, twist to your right side, then pause. Observe what's here. Feel the breath. Another 1/3 of your range, continue on and pause. And then the last 1/3, you might opt to rest your inner left leg on a pillow, making sure your left shoulder stays on the ground. And now, perhaps experiment with bending your right knee while you're in the twist, reaching for the right foot with your left hand to bring towards your glutes. And whether or not that's happening, reground your left shoulder and gently tilt your left outer hip forward, away from your torso and towards the front edge of your mat. Invite the breath in. 10 more cycles here. Taking your time to finish your 10 counts of breaths. When you do, slowly unwind back to center, removing the strap. Step both of your feet on the ground and separate your feet as you center your pelvis on the mat. Separate the feet wider apart than hips distance. Separate your knees as wide apart as your feet. Gently drop both knees to the right, allowing a deep breath in. Both knees to the left as you exhale completely. So go that slowly, windshield wiping your shins in the same direction. About 4 more breaths. And when you finish, come back to center and bring your feet a little closer together, about hips width apart. Place a block under the flat part of your lower back, your sacrum, Make sure that it's comfortably and stably supporting you here. It's not digging into the mid-back, nor too far down to the bottom of the glutes. Rest your hands on your hip flexors at the very tops of your thighs, front of your hips. Just allow a few breaths here. Sense what's coming up, if anything, physically or elsewhere. Feel the energy of your neck, shoulders, face. Might there be any loving adjustments to those areas to accommodate full, easy breaths? Invite the backs of your shoulders to completely rest on the surface below, encouraging your collarbones to smile more effortlessly, wider apart. Now, optional to experiment with either tilting the block that's beneath you to the second level height, or taking a second block and stacking it on its lowest height just above the first block. Bringing that non-judgmental observation to what you're experiencing here. What's your body giving you through feedback? How is the breath informing you of how much height to give so that it can keep flowing easily, fully? You might tilt the chin further back, opening the passageway for breath at your throat. And as we stay at least 10 very long breaths, longer, you might now rest your arms down by your sides, really close to the blocks, with the palms face up, encouraging an external rotation of your upper arm bones to open up the fronts of your shoulders. Resting here in Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose in a restorative version. Now, in the shape in your body, notice what feels really open. Where does the breath easily travel to? Might be the sides of the rib cage, might be the stomach or the chest. And inversely, notice what doesn't feel so open. Notice where the breath does not easily flow to. With this curiosity, is there anything you can adjust gently to invite more breath into those spaces? Like for me, maybe it's lowering onto the first block and removing the second. As you finish another breath or three, taking your time, remove all the blocks beneath you and gently bend both knees into your chest. You might even sway a little side to side or splay the thighs apart, maybe a brief happy baby pose if that's calling you. Then whether you choose to rock forward or turn gently to one side, ease your way upright to sit with your legs extended forward. Take a strap again and step the ball of your left foot into the loop. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh for half cow face pose. See if you might be able to stack your knees, and see if it's helpful to sit on a folded blanket or pillow so that you can find ease in lifting your spine. Holding the strap with both hands, relax your shoulders back and down. Root your 2 sitting bones down and imagine breathing up from the base of your spine to your crown. Then exhale, extending your heart forward. Start to bow from your hips for several breaths. Couple more deep breaths here in Ardha Gomukhasana. Begin to lift your chest. Remove the strap as you breathe in to rise. Sliding your right leg straight, step the ball of your right foot into the loop. Stack your left thigh over the right, lining up your knees as much as you can. Maybe sit up on a blanket. Hold the strap with both hands and roll your shoulders back and down. Rooting your sitting bones down, imagine breathing up from the base of your spine to your crown. Extending your heart forward, exhale, bow from your hips. Several breaths. With an inhale, lead with your chest. Rising slowly, remove the strap. Now please find a comfortable seat for our last pranayama practice, breathing practice. You might sit up on a block or a pillow. For this practice, we haven't done it in a while, box breathing, which is a helpful technique in moments of stress or anxiety to ground, to connect to your inner resources, to find peace of mind, to center in on the breath and the present moment. And it's very simple and easy to remember. We breathe in through the nose for a count of 4. Hold the breath in, a count of 4. Breathe out through the nose, a count of 4. Hold the breath out, a count of 4. That's 1 cycle. So let's do 3 cycles together, 2 cycles on your own. Rest your hands wherever it helps you to focus. Pay attention to the breath. Maybe a hand to the chest, a hand to the belly. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze ahead and sit tall and relaxed. Close the lips and prepare by emptying this breath and holding it out. Let's begin. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Third round. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue 2 more rounds on your own. finishing at your own pace. When you do, rest for a moment in stillness, naturally breathing, and observe the effects of Samavriti Pranayama, box breathing. Carefully begin to lower your body into your final resting pose before meditation, corpse pose or shavasana. Closing your eyes and allowing your breath to just flow naturally like a river. Resting here a little longer. Bringing that attitude of mindfulness as you observe your body, the breath, your mind, and the effects of your practice. Now for today's guided meditation of about 10 minutes, choose to either stay lying down, make sure that you're comfortable, or begin to lift your body upright into a seated position, whether on a chair or on the ground or a pillow. And as I mentioned at the start, this is a guided meditation written by Jon Kabat-Zinn himself. And it's a guided meditation on observing thoughts non-judgmentally. So make any final gentle adjustments so that you can rest your body in stillness and enjoy alertness and presence. Take a few minutes or moments to settle into feeling the body as a whole, sitting and breathing or lying down and breathing. Ride the waves of the breath moment by moment while resting in awareness. This is an awareness that features the entirety of the bodyscape and the breathscape as they express themselves. And when you're ready, if you care to, let go of the breath and the body as a whole. Allow them to recede into the background or rest in the wings. Still very much present, but less featured, while we invite the whole domain of thoughts and feelings and mood states to be center stage in the field of awareness. For a time, attend to the stream of thought rather than being carried away by the content or emotional charge of individual thoughts. Instead, rest comfortably on the riverbank of the thoughts or the thought stream itself, allowing individual thoughts, if and when they arise, to be seen, felt, recognized, and known as thoughts or as events in the field of awareness. Recognize them as mental events, occurrences, secretions of the thinking mind, independent of their content and their emotional charge. Over there. See any and all of these fleeting thoughts as bubbles, eddies, and currents within the stream, rather than as facts or as the truth of things. Whatever the content, whatever the emotional charge, whatever their urgency or their tendency to reappear, whether they are pleasant or seductive, unpleasant or repulsive, or neutral, and therefore harder to detect at all. Now, expanding the metaphor, look at any and all of these evanescent thought events, more like clouds in the sky or bubbles coming off the bottom of a pot of boiling water, or like writing on water, arising in a moment, lingering for the briefest of instances, and dissolving back into the formlessness from whence they came, relating to their content as if it were of equal importance and relevance to say what you had for dinner 3 nights ago. For now, just let any and all thoughts come and go. Just let sounds come and go, not preferring some to others, nor pursuing some over others, not pursuing anything, just resting in an awareness of thinking itself and the spaces between thoughts, moment by moment, breath by breath, as we sit here or as we lie here. It might be helpful to be especially sensitive to the steady stream of commentary and advice you may be giving yourself as you sit here, and recognize it as such. Recognize it as scaffolding or running commentary. Take a position in relationship to it that resembles turning down the sound on a TV, so that you're just watching the game and aren't being sucked in to the endless stream of commentary and interpretation and opinion that is so characteristic of televised sports events. Rather, you now detect the commentary on your moment-to-moment experience merely as thoughts. Watch how easily thoughts manufacture or fabricate views, opinions, ideas, beliefs, plans, memories, stories, and how easily they proliferate. If we feed them one thought morphing into the next, then into the next, we suddenly realize that we've been carried downstream and are no longer aware of the stream itself. Allow all of this to be held, to bear attention in awareness. Breath by breath, as we sit here resting in the awareness, recognize thoughts as thoughts and feelings as feelings. Accept them as so, whatever their content or emotional charge. Just experiment with cultivating greater intimacy with what's on your mind and in your heart. Observe carefully rather than identify with the content of thoughts and feelings. Look at them more impersonally as weather patterns or ripples and waves on the surface of the vast and deep ocean of the mind. For the remainder of our time together, rest in an awareness of the arising and passing away of thoughts and feelings in the mindscape. Let your thoughts and feelings arise on their own in the field of awareness to whatever degree they do, moment by moment and breath by breath, as you sit here, as you live your life off the cushion of meditation. Now, what did you notice? And can you continue to notice even without the formal meditation practice? Bringing that practice of mindfulness, paying attention on purpose in the present moment without judgment. You might bring your palms gently to meet at your heart, bowing in as you remember your intention or prayer for this practice. And remember to whom or what you dedicated this practice to today. Preparing to close with one chant of Om. Allow a deep breath in. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.